Are you in a trauma bond? Are you in a relationship that has emotional highs and lows consistently going in circles? That is the definition of insanity. But what even is a trauma bond? A trauma bond is a strong emotional attachment that forms between a person and someone who abuses and mistreats them. Trauma bonds is a weird relationship to be in because you could ultimately lose your life in a trauma bond. Or you could be with somebody for 10, 20, 30 years and break up because one of them wakes up. Usually the one that's being mistreated and abused awakens and decides they are not going to take that mistreatment or abuse anymore. What are the 7 stages of trauma bonding? 1, love bombing in the beginning, when you are excessively flattered and praised by your partner. 2, the abuser usually will do anything to gain the person's trust and dependence. 3, they will start blaming and criticizing their partner to make that person feel bad about their self. 4, gaslighting, manipulating their partner into thinking they're the crazy one. 5, addiction. The partner usually gets emotionally addicted to the positive reinforcement that comes after the abuse. 6, loss of self. The abused partner usually loses their sense of self. And 7, resignation and submission. The abused partner gives in to avoid conflict and to please their abuser. The only thing is, this abuse constantly takes place over and over and over time. Usually, the abuser gets sick of being abused emotionally and mentally, and sometimes physically, and almost always wants to leave. And it could take years, it could take months, it could take decades, but the person usually awakens and decides they want to leave. Then they have to find and relearn themselves all over again. It's not worth it. Somebody that mistreats you and abuses you will constantly do this over and over and over again so that you can lose yourself through the confusion that they put you through. Remember, anything that confuses you is not sent by the Creator, is not sent by God. I'm not saying that trauma bonds cannot be there and then turned into a healthy relationship later on. But usually it takes for the abusing partner to notice that they are being abusive, go get help, and wanting to change and transform their self. But almost all the time, that is unlikely because the abusing partner gets their way by manipulating the abused person into thinking that they are crazy and they are wrong and them losing their self. Also, the abusing partner can get their way in life and do what they want to do whenever they want to do it and how they want to do it, even though they are in a so-called committed relationship. Most of the time, a trauma bond relationship looks like, I love you, I love you, I love you. I can't stand you. This be that, this whore that, this in that, this guy that. Then they're right back in everybody's faces, right back on social media, right back in each other's faces saying, I love you this, I love you that, I want to be with you, I want to be with that. But they constantly do this over and over and over again, over and over and over again. That is a trauma bond. And that will not last more than likely. It can, but both people have to decide to put in the work to get the help that they need to stop the trauma bond. Now, what is the difference between a trauma bond and a healthy relationship? Trauma bonds are based on fear, obligation, and guilt. Usually has a lot of manipulation and threats. But a healthy relationship is based on love, which consists of mutual respect, kindness, and both people having the desire to contribute healthy into each other's lives, meaning truth, honesty, communication, loyalty, positivity, peace, things that build each other up, not tear each other down. A trauma bond is people that are going to embarrass each other in front of the whole world, in front of each other. When they get mad, they throw each other under the bus. A healthy relationship, they're going to talk behind closed doors. They are going to lay out each side of the equation and come together to form a solution for the relationship. You will know if you're in a healthy relationship because it's going to help you be better. It's going to help you grow. It's going to help you bring out the best version of yourself. A trauma bond is going to belittle you. It's going to bring you down. It's going to hurt consistently, and it's going to help you bring out the worst version of yourself. Trauma bonds dilutes your senses and causes you to be confused within yourself. That's how you lose yourself. So in order to not get into a trauma bond, it always is important to stay true to yourself and be who you truly are. As I study more and more and more of psychology and the human brain, you learn that the abuser literally takes over the other person's life in a trauma bond. You can literally see the other person losing their self if you pay attention enough and you are in your energy field. You can see the lies from the real. As I'm watching these trauma bonds online, because most people with trauma bonds put all their relationship stuff online for people to see, as I'm watching this, you notice that the abuser will take the abused person's phone and act like they are them, make all type of statuses like they're so in love, even react for that person. Everything in the trauma bond is based on the abuser's life and what the abuser wants to outshadow or put out to people to manipulate their audience into thinking they are the happiest couple in the world. They are an amazing couple in the world. The way you know that it's a trauma bond because they are televising their ups and downs to the world. It is usually not the person being abused doing any of this. It's the abuser and the abuser going through their own highs and lows with the world watching. But the abuser makes you think that it's them and the person being abused going back and forth when it's really the abuser going back and forth with their self and manipulating their audience, you are watching them, to think that they are both tug of war going back and forth, which is a form of entertainment. But you got to be careful what you allow to entertain you, because if you are not a master of energy like myself, you will be quickly manipulated into thinking that this is love, that they love each other, that they're going to make it, that this is so awesome. They do not actually have what they're portraying out to people. Watch what I tell you. Watch closely. When you learn to read energy, you read in between the lines, and you quickly will notice that everything coming from these abusers are fake. So be careful, because manipulation is real, and they not only are manipulating the person being abused, they're also manipulating their audience too. So be careful of trauma bonding with people and step back and realize that you deserve better, because manipulation is real and people will bring you down quicker than they will ever bring you up. It is your your responsibility to make sure your life goes the way it's supposed to go, and you build yourself up the way you want to build yourself up, and you find healthy relationships and healthy attachments, because those are the only relationships that are going to help you be the greatest version of yourself and be the happiest version of yourself. No substances, no fakes, no manipulation, no callous, no malicious, no abuse, no none of that. All positivity, all healthy things, all love, all light, all positivity, all peace. It is there. It's out there. You just got to focus on God and have God to really build that bond. With all that being said, I hope you gained very valuable information from this video and enough strength and courage to step away from any trauma bond that's bringing out the worst in you. You can do it, my friend. Step up and live the life that you deserve. I love y'all. God loves y'all. Mwah!